Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. It's time to check in with our friends at the Department of Ag Trade Consumer Protection, and we've got Lara Sutherland here. Lara, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me. It looks like you're enjoying a day on the lake, is what I'm seeing here. Lucky. That soon is going to be a different colored lake here, turning fall. But we're here to talk about COVID-19 federal relief updates, and there's been a few changes here, and I will let you take it away on those changes.
That's right. So, as you know, with the CARES Act and the COVID and the pandemic, there's been a lot of federal programs that are out there for folks who are needing economic relief. So, we want to keep people up to date with them, but also recognize that there are a lot of scams that come around these types of relief programs, and to be careful. So, first of all, what kind of programs are there? Well, there was a moratorium on evictions for folks who couldn't pay their rent. That has since ended. That ended on August 26th, so last month. So now, if you can't pay your rent, you can be evicted by your landlord. However, there is a lot of information and resources out there for people who are struggling to pay their rent and struggling to pay their utilities. Really encourage folks, landlords and tenants alike, to reach out, because the rental assistance will go directly towards to the landlord if it's a rental issue. As I say, you can also get help with your home energy costs and wraparound services for individuals who qualify. So it's the Wisconsin Emergency Rental Assistance Program, WRAP, very clever. It's put on by the Department of Administration. So you can find out all the information you need on their website, which is at doa.wi.gov. There is information there you can find on this program. There's also counties that are providing rental assistance. You can find information in Milwaukee, you can find information in Dane, and there are other counties that have rental assistance. So all of this is on DATCP's website. There's some FAQs, some frequently asked questions about this moratorium and its ending, and the responsibility of tenants to pay rent. Of course, this pandemic has been a struggle for everyone. It has caused economic issues, it's caused health issues. So at the very least, we encourage the tenants and the landlords to work together, see if they can't find a payment plan at the outset, rather than removing people from their homes during a pandemic. And again, looking to DOA for resources that can help you. They're out there if you qualify for this assistance. And the qualifying criteria are on our website. They're on DOA's website, and you can sort of easily click through those. So again, doa.wi.gov will have all this information, or you can go to our website. It will take you, there'll be a live link there to take you right to that information.
Yeah, as far as that goes, for this category, for the relationship between the landlord and the tenant, what's the best way to keep that communication open, based on the complaint, based on what you're receiving from both parties saying, well, they're not listening to me and they're not paying, they're not, when you're kind of sitting in the middle there listening to both, what's kind of the direction that you tell folks here to work together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. As a general matter, you should go to your landlord and be very forthright with struggling with pay rent, and see if you can resolve it. And, many landlords are going to be able to accommodate that and want to work with you and not want to evict you. But at the same time, the landlord is running a business and they need their income as well. There have been resources out there for small business grants through the CARES Act as well, and for HUD-owned houses. If a landlord has a mortgage through that, there is also resources for landlords in that space. So there are opportunities for landlords to get relief outside of this rental assistance program. But again, the rental assistance will go directly to the landlord should that tenant qualify. So talk to each other, see if you can't work things out. There's also a fair, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes, you're at an impasse. The business needs their money and a tenant can't pay for it. So, There are the Tenant Resource Center in Dane County can offer legal services to tenants. There are some similar organizations in Milwaukee, and those resources you can find on our website too. You may end up needing legal help and legal representation to see what your rights are and to see how you can stay in your home and what resources there are. So we encourage you to visit our website for all that information.
All right, turning our attention to the student loan and being extended for payback. Tell us what do we've got? Any changes on this front, or how long will this last?
So this is a forbearance on federal student loans, and it has been in place for some time now. And in August, the federal government extended that forbearance time. The U.S. Department of Education did. So the final extension on this will last until January 31st, 2022. So in February, students will have to start paying back their loans, student borrowers. There will not be another extension, and the U.S. Department of Education has been clear on that. So what does this mean for students? It means that there's a suspension of their loan payments. There's a 0% interest rate being collected right now, and that they will not be doing collections on defaulted loans. The unique thing about this forgiveness is that no borrower has to do anything. This is automatic. The federal loans that qualify are automatically put into forbearance. So this means a couple things. One is, if someone is calling you and telling you to pay this much money so you can get put in forbearance, that is a scam. There is no requirement on your part to do anything. You don't need to give information. So if anybody's calling you asking for money, personal identifying information, your student loan login, anything about your student accounts, that's a scam. You do not need to give off any information to qualify. The other thing that folks should think about is, if you are one of the fortunate that are in a financial situation that can afford paying these loans, you should. And that is because there's no interest being collected right now, and you're able to get down through that compounded interest and into your principal. So we encourage folks to continue paying if you can. There is a lot of folks out there that think that the government may forgive all of their loans. There has been a lot of discussion about loan forgiveness. And there's a sense that people are sitting back and not paying during this forbearance period because maybe their loans are going to get forgiven. The likelihood that all of your loans are going to be forgiven are pretty slim. So we encourage people, if you can pay, to start paying, and to find out whether or not you need to be paying. Now, these are your federal loans. If you have private loans, they're not in forbearance necessarily. Some private lenders are also offering similar forbearance relief, but you need to be assertive and find out if that's true. So certainly don't rest on your laurels. This is a great opportunity to either pay down your debt if you can, but be proactive. Call your loan servicer, find out which loans are eligible, find out which private loans may be eligible, and find out what payments you should be making during this time. And fortunately, in Wisconsin, there's a great student loan helpline that is put on through the Wisconsin Coalition of Student Loan Debt, as well as Ascendium, a local servicer here in Wisconsin. And that phone number is 833-589-0750, 833-589-0750. And Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, you can get a live human being to talk to you about a very complicated topic: repayment of student loans. Super complicated. There's any number of repayment plans. There's the forbearance that's put in place. There's private versus federal, all kinds of questions, and they can answer them. So I encourage you to use that number. I encourage you to share that number with people that are scratching their heads and trying to figure out what they do. But don't sit on the sidelines, and don't fall for unsolicited emails, pop-ups, social media texts saying we've got the magic formula for you to pay off all your loans. That doesn't exist. I assure you, it's complicated. And there's a lot of scammers out there that want to take advantage of the situation, take advantage of the fact that there's a mountain of debt. People are confused. And if you just tell them, oh, I have a real simple fix, just pay me this monthly fee and I can fix it for you. Uh, trouble, Real Robinson. So steer away from that, and call that number 833-589-0750.
I was just gonna put in here into a search engine and see, do I have to pay back my school loans? And I'm suspecting that in a search engine, it probably top five are probably scams of, oh no, you don't have to pay that back ever. So, I think that always goes back to, it's too good to be true. It's probably too good to be true. And this is great information. Thank you so much, Lara, for sharing this with us. Appreciate it. One more time, if people do want to find out or learn about anything we talked about today, where can they find you at?
They can call us at our hotline at 1-800-422-7128. If you're a victim of any of these student loan scams, we really want to hear about it. And you can also file a complaint or find any of the information that I mentioned at our website at datcp.wi.gov.
All right, perfect. Well, Lara, thank you so much. Glad to see you, and we'll check back in later this month with you.
Okay, thanks for having me, Jeremy.
You betcha. Well, I'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.